understand that we are in Los Angeles, Inglewood, technically SoFi Stadium, but this is basically AT&T West. So follow me this way. We're gonna see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game?
We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here? How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
Dak Prescott has been very consistent with the division. He has took us back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? His winning record is above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the CanFan podcast.
Look.
Go!
Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go!
Cowboys Nation represent! Cowboys Nation represent!
Let's go!
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. All day, every day.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos.
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want some repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats.
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not gonna make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you because you've sucks. Oh God.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
Okay, we got
This is our year.
Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes!
Let's go! Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing up!
Most pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and you know they can
Not only the size, but the speed of the linemen? Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me? A sporty 240?
High 240. High 240. High 240.
I could beat any one of those guys right now, and I've drank a 6-pack.
What? You're wearing Crocs!
My 40 time is better than any of them.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
Erroneous.
Erroneous on all accounts!
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
How'd I do?
13-5.
Final quarter, here we go, baby!
CD for the CD, baby!
And I'm going for 2.
Woo!
I don't know why my safety was just playing off so far.
Tackle him!
Yeah, well, I might be a boomer, but you sound like a pipsqueak. You don't even know how old I am.
No!
You little shit.
You didn't win the game, I lost it!
Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to
Call
get
that a
open
throw?
in key situations.
I might be old, but at least I don't still piss my pants.
Protect you and your loved ones with Crackem VPN.
Ever heard the game marry, kill? Okay, like, yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 people, and you're gonna decide who will you marry, who will you who will you kill?
Okay.
Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo.
Marry Jerry. He's got all the monies. Probably Tony. Dak Prescott. Gotta kill him.
I'm gonna Romo.
She's gonna with Romo.
I'm gonna marry Dak.
She's gonna marry Dak.
I'm gonna kill Jones.
She's gonna kill Jerry Jones. Who will you marry, kill between Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and then Tony Romo?
I'm out.
Jerry Jones, you.
So Jerry?
Jerry Jones, you.
Okay.
You.
Who will you marry, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo?
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
So that means you would kill Dak?
Yes.
Marry Dak. Kill Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, poor Jerry.
Tony Romo.
Why not? He's probably one of the best commentators, announcers on the game right now.
Tony Romo? That's mine. That's mine.
Jerry Jones, right now. Right now.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it.
We need trash can.
Oh, here we go.
AJ, you have to sleep in this for the night. Yeah. Football we already got. AJ's trying to take a piss right now. Trash can.
Stickers.
Stickers.
Couple stickies.
Couple stickies? Yes.
So we got a trash can. We're gonna go test it out in the toy aisle.
You're not getting it first.
First try.
He's not getting it. Give these guys a shot. They'll win a jersey if they get it. Oh, none of us made it. Come on, Dad. You get a free Cowboys jersey if you get it. None of us have made it. Dad's going for a shot. Come on, let's get it. Oh, that was the closest one.
Felt like the closest.
Gross? Yeah. We all missed it, so don't worry about it. We missed it. You guys going to the game tomorrow? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Us too.
Not only are we giving away 3 jerseys for whoever can toss a football into that can, we're also going to be leaving the can so someone can take that home too.
Look, there's still practicing Dolly Parton set.
Hey, guys, what are you doing here?
Boo! Shit, boo shit up. Boo shit up. Boo shit up. Boo shit up. And crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Well, you boo shit up.
Let's go. Wednesday night main event. And you know we come in hyped. I don't think we've ever started an intro not being hyped.
No one's as hype as us, and the problem is that Alex would be just as hype. However, he doesn't know the music cue, and as a trained musician, he can't fake it. He can't fake it because he has to hear it. If he doesn't, he won't do it.
When you're not live in studio, you can fake dance and fake do the moves, but it's just not the same. With saying that, Way J, how are you? Or it's actually Draft J. Crack him if you got him. Draft J, how you doing? Mock J, yes, Mock J.
Mock J. Yeah, I'm doing well. I had a weird night like last night where I went to sleep at like or tried to go to sleep, you know, around midnight here, and every time I was about to fall asleep, I would get like jolted awake over and over and over. I like could not get, and I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
Well, yeah, you were messaging at some weird times because you messaged us at like 2 p.m. this time, like here. I was like, it's got to be like 2 p.m. in the afternoon in Canada, and it had to be like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah,
in Thailand.
That's right. So I laid around for about 2 hours. Then I was just like, okay, I'm not getting to sleep, obviously. And then I woke up and just like did some work. And so finally at like 8 a.m. I was able to go to sleep. But anyways.
You got some sleep.
All that to being said, all that for being to say,
Bousham if you
because I got scared about that, I went and bought myself a little bit of that good stuff, that green.
That marijuana.
What is that like?
And,
What's it like? What's it like overseas like that? Like, do they have?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because it's actually
half of
heroin.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I was gonna say
knocks you out for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, well, this is why, because I just went and smoked half of a joint, and I got really ripped. So like about a half hour before this podcast started, I was like, "Oh boy, hold it together, Alex."
Too much hard H, you know?
Bandwagon boy 1, how are you?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. It's draft season. We're getting closer and closer. It's the first week in April. It's officially less than a month away from the draft. Tomorrow, I think we're at about 4 weeks away from the draft. We're feeling pretty good. We've been doing a lot of studying, and the draft is another big event for the CanFan crew, and I'm excited. I'm actually excited for the draft. More excited than the year that we actually went down to it.
Yeah, it almost makes me upset that we didn't do the amount of draft work we were doing those previous years, but it's like that journey.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't really know where to start. I think last year was the first year that we actually purchased the PFF subscription to be able to do the 7-round mocks. That's super helpful. And then obviously talking to Cowboys Nation and kind of figuring out who they like and, reading articles and all that jazz. But
we want to say what's up, chat.
What up,
I know
chat?
you're about to start going into. Let's get into it. I was absolutely right. Almost one of the first people to comment in the chat was Eastside Herald.
It's he marked it. He marked it on his calendar. You knew he was like the CanFan guys are going on.
Oh,
I'm gonna be one of the first commenters to tell him how good the Texans look, and he's not wrong. Like the Texans are adding. Before we get into Cowboys news, let's talk about the Texans a little bit. They are a team that's actually showing that they might be all in. Not only do they have a great rookie quarterback or a quarterback that played very well last year, who's on his rookie contract, they're double downing on that. Like they're getting the pieces. Yep. They have Joe Mixon. They have they traded today for Stephon Diggs, who we were all kind of hoping somehow ended up in Dallas.
Tank Dell's going to be back.
Tank Dell's going to be back. They have ex-Cowboy Dalton Schultz on defense. They have Daniel Hunter. Like the Texans, they're rolling it. They're going for it, and they had the cap room to do it. And that's what's so important about having a rookie quarterback on his rookie contract, right? You have to hit gold. The Cowboys, as we all know, in 2016 had Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott both on their rookie deals, and it seemed like after the first year, you're like, okay, this is their best chance to make it back to the Super Bowl, and it obviously just never happened.
Yeah, and Philly sucks.
So yeah, Philly sucks. Great shirt.
Just get that out.
I might just make a T-shirt. Herald sucks. I might just have a Herald sucks. But welcome to the CanFan show. We are on all social media platforms. All you have to do is type @Cowboys CanFan, and we will pop up. It's very easy. We've made it very user-friendly. We appreciate any like, any comment, and all of those subscribers, if you know what I'm saying.
And even if you're a hater in the chat like Eastside Herald, just go ahead and smash that like button.
Smash that like button. But guys,
what do we got today?
We're going to kick into some Dallas Cowboys news, and this one type of situation where the Cowboys actually went out and signed someone, and this is only really a handful of guys that we've actually signed this offseason. So even though he's not a very big name, it's still pretty big news that the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm gonna say this loosely, bolster offensive line depth by re-signing backup OT Chuma Adoga. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I mean, hey, Super Bowl. Like
yeah, Super Bowl.
I guess we weren't really impressed with him throughout the season, but the depth and maybe his knowledge is good. I mean, there's no change. That's the thing, right? It's just like, okay, out of all the guys who we could have like kept around, Chuma was not really on any of our top 5, I think.
It's like you're going through the free agents or the guys that are free agents, and you're just kind of like, get rid of that guy, get rid of that guy, get rid of that guy. And guaranteed Chuma was one of those guys that we just said, yeah, I don't care if he's back or not. But here he is. He is back. Chuma Adoga to bolster the offensive line. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's almost like laughable for me. Like I'm not saying Chuma isn't a worthy signing, but given the state of Cowboys free agency and offseason or leading up to the draft. It's like you like really like,
That's your guy.
That's your guy. So
do we want to be wild and do we want to just quickly hit PFF and see what his grade is?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm doing it. Let's be wild. Let's be wild.
Boosh it on in there. I'll lower it down there for you.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm doing it.
Don't do it.
I'm doing it. Like we're gonna do it live. We're gonna check out our guy Chuma and what his PFF rating was last year. They don't even have him in Cowboys swag. I mean, it's not terrible.
It's not dehydrated. So
I mean, his run blocking was. Our run blocking was terrible anyways, but I mean, he's actually better than I thought he was going to be. I was expecting red. I was expecting like dark red.
Maybe there's just that one game when he was pulled in for more than a couple plays.
And Alex, no, you're not stoned. That actually is 420 defensive snaps that he's actually played. Offensive snaps, sorry.
So then they have him by week to week here. They have him week to week, and I mean, it just doesn't look that great.
Zoom it in there for Bush it in there for AJ.
Like I don't really know where he played. He didn't play that much. Like I guess they have the snap counts. His biggest game that he played, he had 81 offensive snaps, and he didn't actually play that bad. His pass blocking was actually way worse. When you look at this, graph of his stats from last year by game, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't look that terrible. The concerning thing is when he had good pass blocking and had good run blocking, it's against teams like the New York Giants, against Carolina, against Washington, right? But then against San Francisco, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that week 5. Oh, that didn't help. Week 5 with this 24.7, that's a dark red, right? So against a good defense like the New York Jets, again, all piss orange. So not great when he played against good teams. When he played against subpar NFC East matchups, he played half decent. But I guess it's a depth signing, and that's really all it is. But nothing exciting. We're still expecting the Cowboys to do something crazy and sign someone or trade for someone. And this just, to me, is a nothing burger. Like, this doesn't give any more insight to what they're planning on doing in the draft, in my mind. They could still go, or still should go, offensive line, in my mind, in the first round. Like, to you guys, does this seem like relevant to anything, or it's just a piece to put on because they can afford them?
The fuck is this?
That's how I think about it. That's how I think about it.
It's just a depth piece, and I mean, look, the more you showed the PFF, you know, I've just become so accustomed to trusting in PFF for no good reason. But like, they do break down football in an interesting way, and when you looked at it, he wasn't as bad as we thought. But for a depth piece, like, yeah, we know he can step in and be serviceable. Okay, that's great.
So he appeared in all 17 games in 2023 with 6 starts, including 4 at left tackle. He played 35% of Dallas offensive starts and 17% of special team snaps. So, I mean, at least he has some special team, flexibility. Adoga is the 6th player the Cowboys have signed since the start of free agency, joining linebacker Eric Kendricks, RB Rico Dowdle, cornerback Jordan Lewis, deep snapper Trent Sieg, and special teams ace CJ Goodwin. So it's very, our free agency period right now is just, like Ad said, just laughable. It's just really laughable, and it's kind of been beat to death a little bit how bad the Cowboys have been in free agency and how much stress they're putting on themselves to be good. They have to hit home runs in the draft in all 3 rounds.
Yep.
Well, I have a theory about this, and I think that a lot of people have thought it too, obviously, is I think the Cowboys are planning to free up a bunch of cap space and, translate that into whatever you think that's going to mean. But I think one big obvious obstacle is Dak Prescott, and they're going to try to find someone to replace him because of the price, and keep those pillars that are already in place, pay the pillars really big, and they're going to be looking to basically draft for the future under the guise of getting something for today. But I don't think that Jerry has a lot of confidence in this team because he didn't hire the coach for an extension. He didn't not hired the quarterback for an extension. So there's not a lot of indication that after this year, we're going to see the same team.
Maybe it's just that new way of maybe it's the new way of running a team where you just give everyone 1-year deals. Just everybody's on a 1-year deal. I wonder how well that would work. I mean, you would get boned, and a lot of players would never take 1-year deals, but you would never get into cap issue, right? You would live if you just spent your exact amount of cap every year, and you'd go into. I mean, fuck that. That'd be risky. I take it back. It would never work.
There would be a bunch of it would work for like older players, veterans, or guys who are needing a bounce back year. You'd more likely have to just go heavy on the bonuses, right? Like, be like, okay, well, if you play in 15 games, you get an extra $1 million.
Absolutely.
Give us some chat. I know you're itching. I know you're itching to give us some chat. Give us some chat.
No,
Scratch that
I
little chat.
I just want to give shout out to Jenkins Gaming in the chat, Bot G, aka Boots on the Ground.
Shit, yeah, Boots on the ground.
Our homie Tony Goat Romo came in, says, "What's up, fellas? Have a good one. Have a good show. Tank for Shador." So he's saying, "Let's."
Oh, I was actually going to bring that up, and that's something sorry, I got to segue into that just because I'll forget if I don't. What are you guys' thoughts about that? That this is all because AJ had already mentioned that he feels like they're planning on moving on after this year. Could you see the Cowboys trading up? Because there's right now projections that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the top pick in next year's draft. Could you picture the Cowboys making a move and trading up to select not only getting Shedeur Sanders, but then making Deion Sanders the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? That's like storybook shit right there. I don't know if I feel anything better than it would. One, it's going to sell a lot of jerseys and make a lot of headlines. How well is it going to work? But what are you guys' thoughts on that before we move on?
I mean, I'm fucking all over that type of story. I don't think it's going to happen. So I just don't. How Shedeur Sanders is going to go so high that the Cowboys
there's projected first overall next year. It's
going to be either him or Travis Hunter that are going to go 1 and 2 or 1 through 4. Right? That's what Deion's saying on a couple of podcasts and over last week, and he wouldn't necessarily say which one he thinks is going to go first. But what would the Cowboys have to do outside of, like, even if they tanked the year, there's still no guarantee that you're going to be getting that first pick.
Oh, they're trading up. They'd have to trade up.
You're fucking betting the farm on that. And possibly that you have a couple of key positions that you're paying Lamb, you're paying Micah, you're setting up your line in the draft maybe this year, and then all of a sudden now you're gonna slag Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime.
I can tell when Ad starts reading chat because
no, I know you're doing something there, and AJ's changing his thing. I have nothing to do with chat.
Okay, sorry. I can tell when you're distracted. I was just trying to get away from Chuma Adoga because we were talking about Shedeur. AJ, what are your thoughts quickly about the Cowboys next year if shit hits the fan and they end up trying to go up to get Shedeur Sanders?
I mean, if we need a quarterback, it's such a Jerry move to do that. I don't know if it's like the best way to go. Because like I'm always just a little bit cautious about the hype of the media, but they've proven to work well together, and it would be a hell of a story if they won a Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
Oh my God.
Oh man, regardless if they depending on what Colorado does this year, it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be mayhem. Yeah. They beefed up their offensive line. This is the thing. We all know that if it somehow happened and Shedeur goes to the Cowboys, we're all buying his jersey as soon as we're able to.
I'm buying a Shedeur and a Coach Prime fucking jersey.
Right there, and that's the reason I could see Jerry doing it, because trading up to get him, well, he's going to make millions and millions and millions off of it. And they're honestly saying, again, this is the last thing I'll touch on before I move on, that he's going to have leverage. They're going to have leverage like Caleb Williams and Shedeur Sanders, because they're already multimillionaires with their nil agreements that they can essentially say, no, I don't want to play for this team if they're drafting.
Yeah, well,
trade me to someone.
Will Robinson chat just brought that up too. He goes, Shedeur will pull a Manning. He will pick the team
Eli.
he wants to play for. Coach Prime has already alluded to this. I forget what podcast Prime was on when he was saying that, but I think Shedeur Sanders probably has a little bit more pull than Caleb Williams because
Way big. I think
you have
bigger name.
you have Deion Sanders. They're just like Eli Manning had the Manning name behind him to be able to pull that kind of.
Hey man, and he won the New York Giants 2 Super Bowls doing it. But before we talk about the 2025 NFL draft, we got to do a little bit talk of the 2024 NFL draft. And AJ, Draft J, Mock J, name him, whatever word you can put in front of J, that's who he is. He went through and Twitter J, XJ?
XJ gonna give it to you. XJ gonna give it to you.
So AJ went through and kind of gave us another nice write-up. He did this for last week. He did a write-up on the running backs, and this week he gave us a right here. I'll zoom in.
Yeah, boosh it in there.
I'll boosh it in here. A write-up on the offensive line, and we're just going to go through it a little bit because offensive line, like we talked about, it goes in nicely. We talked about Agoda. Now we're going to talk about what the Cowboys could possibly do. So AJ wrote the O-line for the Dallas Cowboys is severely weakened. Tyron Smith left to New York. Tyler Biadasz followed DQ to Washington. O-line is a position that needs to be great to have success. Here are some potential lineups for the 2024 season, depending on how the draft goes. So I kind of like this. It's a little goosebumpy where you get to like pick kind of your ending. So, and after we go through this, I wanted to ask you guys what you think would be the best situation. Because I don't know, AJ, did you go what you thought was best to worst, or did you just let the brain juice flow as you went?
Did you just let the good times roll?
I just let it the thoughts prematurely come out of my mind, and ejaculate out of my mind. And
the thoughts were just ejaculating out of my mind.
Yeah.
So scenario.
And yeah. So they're not in order. They're not in order.
Okay, not in order. So scenario one, you have in this scenario you have left tackle being played by Tyler Smith. So the Dallas Cowboys kick him over to left tackle. Then they got starting left guard Bass. And judging by this center, you're saying the Cowboys are drafting Powers Johnson at 24, the GOAT Martin at right guard, and then Terrence Steele at right tackle. There's a big hole in center of the O-line that needs to be filled. Drafting JPJ at 24 will stuff that hole.
Great photo.
And I like this one.
Yep.
I feel like if we got JPJ at 24, Cowboys fans are predominantly going to be happy.
Scroll down a little bit. Let's see his Sears photo right there. There it is, baby.
I don't know what kind of vibes he's giving off. Someone that you don't go to their house to trick or treat.
He looks like a good time Johnny, He sort of looks the good time Jackie.
Good time Jackie.
That's the photo. He's like, just call me Jackie.
Sick hoodie too. The Combine hoodie.
This is his fun corporate photo.
Yeah.
Hey, toss me the football. Let me do one with the football.
This is his photo that he put on Reddit, and he said, "Someone give me a fun corporate photo," and it's just his head. They just edited the rest of it. So I like scenario one. I don't mind it. The starting five there aren't terrible. Powers Johnson's going to be an upgrade right off the get-go. He's going to be better than Tyler Biadasz was. Tyler Smith, I don't think there's much fall off at guard or at tackle. And then Steele can't be any worse than he was last year. So I don't mind scenario one. Scenario one looks good to me.
And chat, make sure you're paying attention to these scenarios because we want to know which scenario would you vote for.
Okay, so Ad, you give us scenario two
Sorry,
after
ahead,
AJ's comment.
Yeah, fucking go on ahead.
Well, this is just also including the idea that I think Steele has a high chance that he's going to play like he did in 2022 because he's had that full year rest, and I'm going to chalk up some of his poor play to that injury and maybe him just not being able to be his true self. So
that's what we hope. That's what we hope.
Yeah,
that's best case Ontario.
Best case Ontario, which is a Canadian province for our
for anyone out there.
For everybody who's listening right now. Okay, so scenario number two is Smith at left tackle, Bass at left guard, Barton center, Martin at right guard, and then Steele at right tackle. So this is if Jackson Powers Johnson is gone. Graham Barton could transition from tackle to center with his traits and bring a mean streak along with toughness to the Cowboys. Now, this is, and I wasn't paying attention, but this is not relying on Hoffman as being our center, right?
Well, they're saying Hoffman's going to get beat out by Barton here.
Right.
The interesting thing with Barton, actually, AJ, the thing I like about Graham Barton is it actually puts him in a position battle with Bass and Hoffman because he can also play guard. So I don't mind this pick because you could also have him. He's going to beat out of the three guys between Bass, Hoffman, and Barton. You're going to get the two best of those three, right? So this isn't a terrible scenario either. Again, I think it's improved. I think our offensive line, again, based off of what Terrence Steele can do, this is a strong offensive line to me again. Like Bass showed that he didn't have much fall off when he was in there. Like Bass played very well last season.
Yep.
Remember, I was like, oh my God, there was the one game I think both Hoffman and Bass were in.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the best games our offensive line looked.
Well, we didn't say anything about Bass, so that means he did a good job.
Exactly.
Rolando Rodriguez says, Cowboys CanFan, are there any veteran centers still out there that need experience at center? Go Cowboys.
Well, yeah, we can check that out after. To be honest, I'm not too sure.
Okay, so scenario number 3.
AJ, I don't know if you're able to see it. Do you want to give it a read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this one is something I don't think that we really want, but it's if the Cowboys would trade up and they would draft either Fashanu or Fatanu.
Great names.
For left tackle, and then it would be Smith staying at left guard, then Hoffman in at center, Martin right guard, and Steele right tackle. And because we lack picks after the third round to move up, we'd have to be trading probably at least our third. But it really would depend on if one of these guys go, then you'd want to make sure that you move up to draft the other guy, basically.
I wouldn't hate a move. So we've looked at a few scenarios in a couple past episodes, and the Cowboys, or some people have written that the Cowboys would move up to take a player like Brian Thompson Jr., who's a stud from LSU. But I would rather the Cowboys, if they were to trade up, to get one of these guys. To be honest, like if you get Fashanu or Fatanu, both those guys, if they're on the board at 24, you're taking them. Even if JPJ's there, you're still taking either of these dudes. And this might be, this lineup is with either of those guys at left tackle and Tyler Smith at guard. This is the strongest lineup right here in scenario 3 so far, in my mind.
Sneaky shout out to Dallas Cowboys, Chris of the Cowboy Up podcast.
Chris, what up, brother?
Chris, hello, Bessies and AJ. Sorry, I didn't want to. And I agree. I think taking a tackle like that is a little bit more needed, I think, in over a center at this moment.
But the good thing with if we do center, you take a center, you can kick out Tyler Smith. So again, there's been talk what Tyler Smith's position is, and we're not going to know that until after the first round.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Shit, I haven't played that one for.
Oh, you find it and you'll play it. These guys both look. These guys both look like they could bring the heat. In my mind. Scenario 4. Okay, here we go. So this one also has Tyler Smith playing left tackle. Then you got Haynes, there's been a lot of talk about him. Very good interior. Ooh, AJ, we got 2 rookies on the offensive line here. So we're getting a rebuild and possibly building this offensive line for the next 10 years. So Mock J put Smith at left tackle, Haynes at left guard, rookie, JPJ center, also a rookie, Martin at right guard, and Steele at right tackle. The Cowboys could draft JPJ in round 1 to fill center, and then Christian Haynes in round 2 to fill left guard. We've talked about this. I said I wouldn't be upset if the Cowboys took, out of their 3 picks, if they took 2 offensive linemen in the top their 87 picks. And then the third pick being, I would love it to be a running back. Because you're saying, hey, we're going to run the ball at you, and we're going to beat teams up. So again, this is a good one. And this is the third scenario that JPJ is selected.
And you could also swap JPJ for Barton too.
Right. You could, yep. So Barton's, because Barton's probably one of the better interior offensive linemen. And even then, like that one's actually kind of fun if you took Barton in the first round, because then your second round pick could be. There's also that, I think Fraser is another center, but yeah, this is the more we're looking at this, the more confident I feel if we get even one of these guys. I feel more confident because, again, Smith and Martin And Steele at times in their career, they've all been at Pro Bowl level offensive linemen. So it's juicy.
Cowboys CanFan, 2 rookies. Do you want Dak to get killed? LOL. Cheers, crack him if you got him. Cowboys.
Hey man, remember we're just getting them primed for next year when we take Shadur Sanders.
Right?
They just need to get better as rookies.
Yeah, the challenge with some of this and chat keeps kind of going back in about Hoffman and Bass is that McCarthy's already said we have a couple players that are developmental and we want to build it out. If our guy, I was going to call him Crash Bandicoot. If Ultra Cowboy was in,
I wish you would have called him.
If Ultra Crash Bandicoot Cowboy was in the chat, he is always reminding us that Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with 1 solid offensive lineman. So the idea of Hoffman and Bass being on the line, that there is a strong possibility that we don't draft a lineman in the first couple rounds.
Nah, fuck that. I will be fucking livid. Look at this.
How
Brock
livid?
Hoffman, PFF, Adoga is better. And then let's check out our boy TJ Bass. That's a lot of fitties. And then TJ Bass, let's check him out with PFF. He doesn't have a picture. Look at that. You're confident with TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman?
Actually, now that you mention it, if there was a lineup of like, hey, for $1 million, you got to pick out TJ Bass, I don't think I could.
He has long hair, long blonde hair.
No, I know, and I feel like he reminds me of Cody Mach.
He's a little bit.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Let's give you a TJ Bass right here.
I have a Cody Mach in my yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, I could pick him out.
Oh yeah.
I take it back. I could pick him out.
There he is.
Oh man.
There's
that
your dude.
combine photo down there. He fucks. Look at that. There it is. What up?
I'm pretty sure I beat that guy in Magic the Gathering 2 years ago.
Oh, but he schooled you at Counter-Strike.
I remember that.
He schooled you at Counter-Strike.
So let's get back to AJ scenario 5. This time.
Well,
oh no, go for it.
Before,
Before you do that though, crack me if you got him,
Crack
son.
that motherfucking got him, baby.
Crack me if you got him. Cheers. Give me a cheers.
We never cheers.
We never cheers.
I think that's probably the first cheers on CanFan history.
Cheers.
Actually, Wayjay and I will cheers when we have a mixed drink.
Yeah, cheers with the mixed drink because you hear the ice going. That's fine.
Yeah, the clanking.
I was gonna say,
clank them if you bank them.
I was gonna. Okay, so here's how my brain worked, and I'm just gonna quickly detract on it because I know AJ wanted to say something, so I'm gonna steal his thunder. I was gonna hold out the Terramana tequila right here and be like, yeah, when we do mixed drinks, and then my mind went to The Rock, and The Rock right now is in full heel mode in wrestling.
Yeah.
And it feels like the 90s wrestling. And I saw a post today saying The Rock's in full heel mode going into WrestleMania. The Final Fantasy VII was just released. Anybody who grew up in the 90s is reliving their moments. And there was like 1 or 2 other things.
Did the Cowboys win the Super Bowl when The Rock was full heel? I don't think they did.
No, The Rock was full heel when he was like.
And
late,
AJ,
late
what
90s.
year was Final Fantasy? Late
like
90s.
97, I think.
Okay, so Cowboys
97,
suck.
yeah.
So Cowboys suck. So we might be right on par for that.
Oh fuck.
Rock's the heel. Final Fantasy VII's coming out. Cowboys suck. we might be right. We might be right on pace. But we got. Or you had one other thing you wanted to say, AJ. What's up?
Yeah, well, just to address that comment, that I did go on to say on the post that it is risky to get 2 rookies, but this is probably, if that's the direction the Cowboys are going, it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes when you get put into a corner, you got to swing for the fences, and that's what you'd be doing with like drafting 2 early offensive linemen.
Not to mention, who's better for those 2 young guys to learn from than Zach Martin and Tyler Smith, 2 dudes that clearly have figured out the NFL and how to be successful in the NFL. Get those young bucks in there. Get Martin a couple more years with those guys. Get Tyler Smith in. And then, yeah, if you're, we've talked about this before. If you're planning on moving on from Dak Prescott, I don't want to move on from Dak Prescott, get a quarterback, and then build the offensive line. I want the offensive line to be a force when the next quarterback, if the next quarterback comes in to play behind him. And I'm not saying move on from Dak Prescott, but if they are planning on it.
We got it. We got receipts.
Build that offensive line.
Anth Best is saying move on from Dak. He ain't the guy.
But and if you do hit on one of them, that's good. That's going to help our offensive line. That's going to protect Dak either way. So
exactly. So scenario 5.
Smith at left tackle, McCormick left guard, Barton or JPJ at center, Martin at right guard, Seal at right tackle. Another option would be draft Graham Barton and transition him from tackle to center if JPJ is gone.
Yep. Again, AJ, in this
And
one, we're going 2 rooks.
Just click on it because there's another little.
Click on show more.
Oh, shit.
I'm taking a dump. I'm taking a dump.
Oh, God. What did I do?
This is Ant's first time using X, by the way.
On a computer, yeah, it is.
I'm a computer.
Oh, down here. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Go
and then
outside, nerd.
if the boys go with Brooks in round 2, powerful and athletic Mason McCormick in round 3 would do the trick at left guard. So this is what I'm seeing from these scenarios. Is this is a deep, very deep offensive line draft.
Yeah. So if you do believe in Hoffman and Bass, then, and you feel like you can, like, I'm not opposed for us grabbing other positions because I'm a BPA boy. So in the first or second round, and then taking someone that can help the line in the third.
Yeah. So
like,
yeah, no, for sure. Definitely.
Like, I guess that's the thing. Do you think, I guess this is, I was about to say, do you think what's the bigger need? But when you look at an offensive line, and I forget who was saying this, it's the only position group in football that isn't relying on anybody else. Every other position is on the offense is reliant on that offensive line.
Yeah, everyone's relying on the offensive line. They start at it. They're like, I mean, and the only guys that are the offensive line, the only guys that they're relying on are other offensive linemen. That's it. Like your guy beside you. That's why they're kind of like goalies in hockey. They're all kind of a little bit weird. But you wouldn't say that to them because most of them are plus 320 pounds. So what scenario is like, what's your dream scenario here? Or something you'd like to see? You got
actually the last one that when you talked about taking Brooks and then going the third, I kind of fuck with that one.
So you're going scenario 6?
Scenario 6, option B.
Scenario 6. Sweet, you read 5, but there's one last one, and I'll just read it. It's Mims, drafting Mims at left tackle.
Okay. Sorry,
Smith,
right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Smith at left guard, Nugent.
Oh, Nugie.
Drafting Nugent for center. Yeah. Martin, right guard, Steele, right tackle. So the boys could draft Amarius Mims, moving him from right tackle to left tackle. He's green and needs work, but has high potential. A very cherry pick. And then draft Nugent in round 5, adds nastiness, high IQ, high football IQ, and second level blocking.
And it gives us a Michigan guy.
Yeah, Michigan boy. Nugent, the Michigan Wolverine.
Michigan boys.
So I got to ask you guys, though, with Mims, because we've talked about him because he was predominantly a right tackle in college. Does that scare you? Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Does that make you nervous anymore, AJ? That Mims was predominantly a right tackle?
Oh, yeah. I think like scenario 6, of course, he could come in and be great, but it is, it would be unfair to really judge him because he might be a great right tackle, but he'd be switching his entire fundamentals to play left tackle. And so it would be really unfair to judge him. I think that would be something in 2 years we'd see it start really working.
Does it also scare you that he only had 8 college starts?
Yes.
I think that's the guy's a freak. The guy's an absolute athletic monster. And when he had the opportunity, he played unreal. I just am scared, not only because you got 2 opposites, right? Or 2 things going against you, where not only are you switching the sides of the field that you've only played limited times in college. But when he did play, he was a fucking absolute monster. So it could be a good thing, right? Like maybe you would go, if he had 16 games played or 25 games played, maybe the Cowboys don't even get a shot at him because he was so good, right? So it could be a guy he has a high ceiling. I'm going to say out of all the offensive linemen in round 1, Mims probably has the highest ceiling. But he's also the biggest unknown.
Yeah.
So we got to pick scenarios. Which ones? So which ones did you guys like before we move on here? Your best one, your favorite one.
Jenkins Gaming says he likes scenario 6.
6 is good. 6 is good. I will say it is good.
I said 5 because I like the idea of taking I like the idea of Brooks, but after scenario 6, like scenario 6 is a very solid scenario.
So 6y Downey. AJ, what do you got?
I like scenario 1 the best.
Ooh, I like that
And
also the
then-
scenario that you just showed there too.
But yeah, just JPJ. I mean, it's just obvious, and it feels just obvious, right?
Yeah,
And
look at
then
that
scenario
photo.
5, though, if the Cowboys do draft 2, I like scenario 5, and it probably, if you do get JPJ or Barton, then that's fine, and mixing him with the right guard or left guard, sorry. And I selected McCormick because I just like that he played that position throughout his college career.
I like
but
it. Yeah, this scenario here is not a bad one either.
I know we
Scenario
trade
3?
up. I know we trade up, but say one of these two cats falls to 19 or 18, and you can trade a 2025 third round to get one of these dudes. So there's a lot of uncertainty in this one, like what we'd have to give up. But if I'm going for the best, like if I'm looking at the best 5 starting offensive linemen, I'm going with scenario 3. Like if Fashanu or Fatano are there. So scenario 3.
Fashanu Fatano, it sounds like they're a fucking tag team.
Well, fuck. Would you go against these dudes?
Like,
in the
no,
ring?
no, you are they're the 2020s natural disasters.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
Yeah.
So I like this. I like this situation. I don't mind trading up. I'm also, I'm a big flip flopper because I also think if we're gonna trade, we should trade back in the first round. But I'm saying I like this one. So that's a fun exercise. AJ's gonna keep knocking these ones out of the park. He's done running backs now. He's done offensive linemen. I love reading them, and they're a really good discussion factor for the show. And it's good work on it, man. Because obviously you've put effort into it, and it's well done.
You kept on saying that, like, well, I thought AJ was just reposting it from someone.
No, this is all Mock J.
A couple of times the way that you were talking about, like, I thought AJ put these together. Like, why aren't we giving him flowers?
Oh, he did. He did. This is all WayJ. This is all WayJ. This is, and it's great.
They're a lot of fun to do and they're helpful. But I have a question now, and maybe we can quickly ask chat and get a quick response here. But what position group should we do next? What should we look at next?
Okay, so you're explained the position group last week was
running back.
I
don't trust chat to make that decision. I'm just kidding.
Well, just gauging interest. We don't have to like decide right now, but and from both of you too is like, is there any? If you mentioned looking at O-line whenever before I did this, and so that's why I did O-line. But who else can we look at?
Well, what's a position in need? Linebacker is a position in need.
Linebacker or wideout, I'd like to see.
Wideout would be good because it's a very good first round of wideouts. So wideout would be interesting. Plus, it's a very controversial topic. You tell some people that you're fine with a wideout being taken at 24, and they think,
are you fucking kidding me?
It's like casual.
You're not, yeah.
Casual.
You're sus. You're such a sus fan.
Casual, which I mean, there is bigger holes in the Cowboys, but I wouldn't. You know, we like our skill position guys.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, chat. Let us know what you guys want to see, and I'll throw something up in the Instagram or on the Twitter, and we'll throw up the 4 positions and whatever gets voted on.
The X.
We'll throw up the X
to say go to our X to say that to see that post. Not the Des Bryant.
Yeah, I think we did. If we did up for our next one, if we did DI, linebacker, wide receiver, and I don't know, cornerbacks or
that's good,
or secondary,
something like that. I like it. That's juicy. That's juicy fruit. It's gonna move ya.
Okay, you got another.
We got Dallas Cowboys signed free agent tackle, so we already talked about that. But then there's 3 more top candidates remaining. So I don't know if they're gonna. I didn't read this because I like us all to go into it as big virgins on this article. So I didn't read it. I'm just gonna scroll down. I don't know if it's just ex-Cowboys, like Cowboys free agents, or if it's NFL wide. So we're just gonna cruise on down. Is there anyone that you guys can think of?
No.
Not a running back, not a Zeke, not a Dalvin Cook, not a. I can't even. think
Dalvin Cook,
an OBJ.
No, Dalvin Cook, OBJ's there. Yeah, so those are the.
Can you think of it? No.
Well, no, you thought about them.
Yeah.
You brought them up.
I spatballed it. So we're just gonna go down this tunnel and hope a train doesn't come through the other end. So we're gonna scroll on down, and they have just talking about Adoga. So a guy that I don't even know who this dude is, but Mekhi Becton. So the Mekhi Becton situation is an interesting one. Originally a top 15 overall pick, Becton showed promise his rookie season and in spurts last year. His issue is injuries, though. The former Louisville product suffered back-to-back knee injuries that cost him 2 consecutive years and even suffered an ankle injury during the 2023 season. At his peak, he can be a very good starting tackle for half the price of other players as he tries to prove he can be an NFL player. At his worst, he's a waste of money. Of the names available to the Cowboys, Becton is probably the best fit in terms of cost and overall rule. So again, this will really tell you if they go out and sign this dude, what they're planning on doing draft. If they go and get the guy like this, maybe they don't take a tackle in the first, which we're okay with because we want JPJ anyways. It would help if we knew who he was. Next, we got Andre. They're giving us both here, guys. And this is the issue. And I'll be honest.
I hope you're always honest.
Since we've done the CanFan podcast and been CanFan boys or crew, I don't follow the NFL like the other teams as much as I used to, right? Like I just don't because we put so much time and effort into this show that I don't sit and watch every single NFL game like I used to. I used to sit there Sunday morning because we're on the West Coast from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. and watch every single NFL game essentially, right? So since the last few years of doing this, 3 years, I've kind of lost track of a lot of players. Plus, I don't play Madden anymore because it sucks. But Andre Dillard has a tough career. As a first-round pick, he was serviceable tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay,
but was
move on.
Yeah, done. So it's all tackles. And then David Bakatari. If the Cowboys were to truly go all in, which we know they're not, like their executive team has said before, taking the best available free agent tackle is so important. David may have health concerns like Smith used to, but he's finally healthy and still an all-pro caliber player when so. So by bringing him in, the Cowboys would not be out at taking a tackle in the first round, which we kind of said with all these guys, but would give that rookie a strong leader to learn the game from and prepare for the future. It's a win-win situation if he is the choice. Of course, frankly, if Dallas was truly interested in spending on a vet here, maybe they should just have kept Tyron.
It's funny that you didn't say his name.
You like how I just skipped his name?
Bakatari.
That's what I said.
That's why when.
But the most telling sentence here is maybe they should have just kept Tyron. Like if you're willing to go out and just spend money on some of these question marks, why not just keep Tyron Smith?
Exactly. Because they're not they want to draft that up. So they're by not keeping Tyron Smith and not taking any of these free agents, it tells us where they're gonna go.
I think you boosted it right there.
You boosted.
Yeah, give us a little chat, son.
Gus says, I want to see shirtless Anth on Sundays again.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
And then he says, I'm gonna be honest. I hope you always are honest. Ha ha ha. Adam made me spit my coffee out. So that's my Gus. My Gus says there.
Gus, I gotta give a shout out to GR7. Always the gifts. He's the gift magician. He always posts funny gifts on anything we post on Instagram. By the way, go check out @Cowboys CanFan on Instagram. But Gus always has hilarious gifts in every post. I love him. They usually make me spit out my coffee.
Iceberg Slim says Jenkins Gaming of Brian Thomas Jr. 4.33. He runs a 4.3, 6'2", 208. I don't see Dallas passing him up. Randy Moss still haunts Jerry Jones for that if Dallas drafted Randy Moss 3 more rings.
Thomas isn't making it to 24. He's not. It's the same thing as Bijan. Like last year, you talk about drafting Bijan and everyone calls you crazy. The guy made it to 7? Same thing. There's a lot of talk about Thomas getting drafted by the Cowboys. I don't think he's making it out of the top 15. The guy had 17 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
I just don't see him making it out of the top 15 and definitely not out of the top 20. So if he's there, maybe Dallas would pull the trigger on him. I just don't think he will be.
Jenkins Gaming's brought this name up a couple times as we're talking about linemen, and then Rolando Rodriguez is bringing it up. Cowboys CanFan, Lael Collins played left guard when he started and is on the practice squad. Give him a chance. That's Dak's good friend. Crap if you got him. Go Cowboys.
Hey, that's a good call. And Loki hasn't been talked about at all.
Jenkins Gaming says everyone gone and forgot about Lael Collins.
Everyone has, and he's cheap. He'll be cheap. He's on the practice squad. They could bring him up for. He's gonna take a low. He's gonna take a low price, right? So, wait, I could.
What?
I don't know. Alex read something hilarious, and I just saw his reaction.
I'm sorry. I was
don't be sorry. Your reaction was hilarious.
He's just Stone Jay right now, baby.
I am a little.
He is fucking vape 10 right now. This is great.
But after Adam said it, I just love that Rolando Rodriguez has been 100% consistent with his sign off, and
Oh, yeah.
Adam reads it every single time.
I love it.
It's just funny to me, like cracking
I've
the
told
Cowboys.
I've told you I'm like Ron Burgundy. If it's in front of me, I read it exactly like it is.
No,
If someone
to
doesn't
me,
type,
it's become
if someone doesn't type it properly, I thought you were laughing at because Eastside Herald wants someone to DoorDash him, so he keeps putting his DoorDash thing in there.
Yeah, how about I do the old DoorDash you a bag of shit on fire? How about we DoorDash you that?
Gus says, "Hey Harold, I can't wait to see Diggs arguing with Stroud for only 3 targets a game."
I can't wait for. I mean, this is the thing. Dak Prescott had one of the best rookie seasons of all time, and then didn't have the greatest season after or the season after. So it's always perfect in a perfect world. You have your second overall pick succeed and be amazing at all times, but he still has to go and have a sophomore season, right?
Yep.
So
Iceberg Slim says, and Mitchell will be Mitchell from Michigan is a 4.34, 6'2", 204. He will be available.
Yep.
We've talked about Mitchell.
We have a little bit.
Drafted Mitchell. Okay, we're gonna do some prospies here.
Well, so the Cowboys, and this is some news. Nick Harris
and Harold, stop flaunting your fucking OnlyFans here. Have some self-respect.
Does he have OnlyFans?
No.
I was gonna say I would maybe check it out.
Hey, if Eastside Herald had an OnlyFans, I would.
I'd have to dip in.
Yeah.
Have to dip in.
Hold on a second. Slow your roll. You need to calm down.
So Cowboys to host 30 prospects for his visits this week, and this is by Nick Harris, and he works for the Dallas Cowboys, so he's got the 411.
There's that duck. Ducks fly together.
How do I get this shit rid of this here? Just click it?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Okay, so here we go, boys. These are I don't know if it's all 30, but it's a start. Just tell me if there's someone I don't think we got to read through all, but it'd be fun to read through some of the guys that
we've talked about.
Yeah, that we talked about. Talise Fuaga, I don't think he's going to be around by the time the Cowboys pick, but a guy like Trey Benson, running back from Florida State, widely regarded as a top 3 running back in the class. Benson heads to the NFL after back-to-back seasons with 900+ yards on the ground, projected as a day 2 selection. If the run on running backs waits until the Cowboys pick at 57 in the second round, Benson could be an option.
I like that.
That's saying that he's not the start of the run on the running backs. There's nothing saying that, 1, he's going to be there in the second round, or 2, if he's not the very first guy.
Right. But you're just saying that Trey Benson is someone that they believe is going to be at that position.
Well, they're bringing him in.
Too.
They're bringing him in. Well, yep. Nick fucking Harris thinks that at least. Bucky Irvin, AJ, I know you've been a little bit high on Bucky Irvin. What are your thoughts on the running back out of Oregon?
I just liked his tape, but again, I'm watching the highlights, so of course, I like almost every running back's tape. To be honest, it's just if it's longer, it's like okay, that there's more. This guy's got more highlights, and if it's shorter, I'm like okay, this guy has less highlights. So that's how I kind of judge that. But he's super shifty, and I don't know. I just liked his, or maybe he's not shifty. I just liked his running style.
Yeah, he runs tough.
He's run tough, and if he's available, I don't think anything really stands out as incredible with him. But sometimes those are the guys that perform really well in the NFL because they've just got a really solid foundation. And
I like AJ's takes on running backs. I mean, I was disappointed. I was never hot and bothered on Chardonnay, and that was AJ's guy all last year. And regardless of him not doing what he needed to do in Seattle, but I think he's going to have a good second year. So if AJ's into a Bucky, and plus his name's Bucky.
Sounds like Bucky's a great name.
Sounds like he's a 50 style fucking stud.
Bucky's a great name.
Hey, everybody, Bucky Irvin on the 50-yard line.
Hey, Bucky running away.
Bucky Irvin.
But I just to clarify, I'm not high up on him like I was.
Dude, you're so high on fucking Bucky and Irving. Almost as high as you are on that fucking Southeast Asia weed.
That Huron that you got in you. But just looking at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that we first have here, 5 guys, burgers and fries. Junior Colson, Jackson Powers Johnson, Bucky Irvin, Trey Benson, and Talise Fuaga. Those are all, if we could get one of these guys in the top 2, I wouldn't be too upset with it. They have Jackson Powers Johnson. We're not going to dive into him too much because we talked about him quite a bit.
Because you and AJ already spent fucking the last 20 minutes sucking his dick.
Pretty much. And then when we had Cowboys Chris on the show, he had one Michigan Wolverine that he could draft in our draft class.
And it was Coulson?
And it was Coulson in the
Yep.
second round. So considered a day 2 projection at linebacker, is a well-built run stopper in the second level at 6'2", 238 pounds that can pair that size with a quick burst to make stops in the running lanes. His ability and coverage also provides the potential of him being the first linebacker off the board. Wow. That's some high praise. So they're saying that he could be the first linebacker off the board, surpassing Peyton Wilson and Edgerrin Cooper. Interesting. He was rated by PFF as the college football's best tackling linebacker. So that's interesting.
Really?
Another guy that we talked about today, and we'll read it out here, is Graham Barton, interior offensive lineman that AJ seemed to be not only high right now, but high on. And the reason why, do you want to take this one away?
So one of the more complete and versatile offensive linemen in the draft, Barton played left tackle at Duke in his final seasons, but it was his freshman tape at the center position that has the teams interested. Dingle dangle, what he can bring into the interior. Projected as a mid to late first round pick, Barton is a legitimate option at 24.
So that's good because he's got that Swiss Army blade type thing. He can play a couple positions, do a couple things. So that's not terrible. And then another big body dude. So the Cowboys are bringing in the biggest position right here. A lot of
big body boys.
Braylon Allen, running back, Wisconsin. Getting a big-bodied running back in the draft may be a necessity, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a bigger body than the 6'1", 235-pound Allen. Another day 2 option. Allen comes in after a productive career with the Badgers. I don't think we'd be mad with any of these guys going to the Cowboys.
No. I mean, I would be mad if one of them that's projected to go second or third goes in the first. Like, that's where I would be mad. It's like, why are you picking this person when we probably could have got him in the second? Versus being so stubborn and be like, that's the people that we want to pick. We're taking this person because we believe we need him at this position.
But this is my question. Why is he projected in the second and not the first? Because we all read articles that he was projected in the second?
Yeah.
Like, realistically, like
Braylon
Allen. He's 6'1", 235 pounds, and runs a 4.40.
I know.
Like that guy's flying at that size. That's like Micah Parsons speed almost at this essentially the same size.
The sad thing is a team that's already flushed with running backs will probably pick him up as like a third option for their team.
But you know what I mean? As far as you'd be in like someone gets drafted. One, I didn't know who Tyler Smith was a couple of years ago. A few years ago, Cowboys fans were completely pissed off when Travis Frederick got drafted. He was one of the best Cowboys draft picks in the last 25 years. You know, it's just hard to really go off of if they're supposed to be a first round or a second or a third or a fourth. That's why we just basically got to compile, and I can't wait for us to compile the CanFan big board because we're going to go through in each round. We're going to put for round 1, we're going to put our top 15 there, who we want. And if they're there, we're going to do our own big board this year. It hasn't happened in CanFan history.
Yeah, we've never done a big board.
This season, we're bringing out the Cowboys CanFan big board.
And those are you tuning in. We will be covering we're not covering the last day.
Yeah, we are. What do you mean?
Did we cover the last day?
The fuck
out.
Fuck out of here.
It's like a marathon stream. We are streaming the entire draft. So if you want to sit there and listen to fucking whoever is going to be, what is it? Is it Rich Eisen that does the commentating for the draft?
I don't know. I don't
Listen,
watch
if you want to watch it,
because I do my own draft
exactly.
show.
Come in, sit with us, chop it up. We have a lot of guests coming up on the draft extravaganza.
Your pitch was terrible.
Draftacular extravaganza.
Your pitch was terrible. Do we do a third day? Do we do?
No. I was saying, do we do the 7th round?
Yes, we do every round. We'll be there for.
It was literally a fucking. I remember
it's like 28 hours. And we drank the whole time.
I remember I could barely walk after.
I know. I felt like I'd worked out for days, and all I did was sit on a couch and drink for like 6 hours each day.
I know.
It was awesome.
Well, that's why it's nice that there's a Sunday off. But you know what you got to do is you got to cue the CanFan intro with the Rick Eisner intro.
Rick Eisner. You didn't even get one of his. You didn't even get one of his names right.
Rich Eisen.
Rich Eisen.
Rick Eisner.
That's Alex's draft name on draft day.
Yeah, you're Rick.
Eisen.
You're Rick Eisner.
Are you fucking? Are you?
I'm Rick Eisner. Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Between you and ads, do we do a third day? Fucking epic. I love it. So I thought it'd be fun to go back a couple years and just see the players that the Cowboys had in for visits in prior seasons to see how much relevancy there is to these draft visits. So in the Cowboys 2023 pre-draft visit, let's see who the Cowboys had come visit and who actually they drafted.
Why don't you boost it in there a little bit for AJ?
Boost it up.
Yeah, get that boost going, baby.
Okay, so the names of the top 30 have just started popping up. So this is last year's article, and they kind of just used their own ranking system to then show where the Cowboys picked. So right here, they had Zay Flowers, Darnell Wright, Emmanuel Forbes, Darnell Washington, Mozzie Smith. So this article, Blogging the Boys, the Cowboys did visit with Mozzie Smith. They had him ranked as at 50. But it shows that one of the visits that the Cowboys had last year ended up being their first round pick.
And it was not, and he was not ranked to be going in the first round.
But it just shows you that whoever they have in there, they could be playing. Yeah, and this goes back to your thing. Like, a lot of people thought Mozzie Smith could have got grabbed in the second when the Cowboys went last year, but this shows that they have completely different rankings than what a bunch of people say on the internet. So then going in, now they show the Cowboys' second pick at 58, and Trenton Simpson, Jalen Hyatt, Gervin Dexter, Byron Young, Marty Mapu. So, like, none of these guys are on the Cowboys. Tucker Kraft, Jaquelin Roy. Jaquelin. There's AJ's guy, Charbonnet, Tyreek Stevenson, Jonathan Mango. So, again, none of those guys out of that top guys there, only so far Mozzie Smith. But then you're seeing another Cowboy here, Cowboys' fourth-round pick. They had Villami, also known as Junior Fiocco, as a draft visit.
Yep.
And they took him. They took him in the fourth round.
Dallas Cowboys Chris is just reminding us that he said it.
Yeah, he did. Look at this, guys. Projected Cowboys fifth round, 169. And these bozos that over at Blogging the Boys, love you guys. DeMarvion Overshown, also a guy that the Cowboys interviewed who didn't get to play his rookie season, but was showing promise before his ACL tear during that Seahawks game that we were at. Then you got a bunch of guys just to fill in here. Manning, Chris Rodriguez, BJ Thompson, Raquan O'Neal, Salaz Zanzi, and then another guy that the Cowboys took, Eric Scott.
Eric Scott Free was fucking him and Overshown were two of the guys that we were very excited coming out of camp.
So we got
we were there in persons.
So out of their 30 picks last year, they took one guy, Eric Scott, two guys, DeMarvion Overshown, three guys, Junior Fiocco, and four guys, Mozzie Smith.
Wow.
So it's quite actually a pretty high percentage. Four of their 7 picks or 8 picks, whatever the Cowboys had last year, they had the draft visits with.
And you want to be like, see, they had a plan, but it's not like
they had a plan.
A lot of those picks did not work out for them last year. So are they looking at it as being, and this is going back to again what Mike McCarthy said, is they have a lot of developmental players that they're expecting to step it up and be major key components to their team this year. So you've said it a couple, like when we talk about Overshown, it's like it's almost like you got that extra fucking rookie because he's coming in and we haven't seen what he was able to do last year, but he had, a high upside to him.
Yeah, Overshown, and that's another thing. Sure, we don't have a 4th round pick, but we got that red shirt Overshown about to hit the field again, which is nice. So you guys, what do you guys think,
the
though?
Injury doesn't keep him held up.
So just to see if this is a common trait, I went back to 2022 and wanted to look at a different.
Ooh, Gumshoe Anth just fucking going in there and true detectiving these fucking draft picks.
I want to see if our 1st round pick was in 2022. So Cowboys 2022 pre-draft visit tracker, 9 potential 1st round picks scheduled to visit Dallas.
Look at that young Stephen Jones.
Yeah, it's only 2 years or 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Okay, so these are the 30 visitors, fellas, and these are they kind of broke it up into position this time around. So at wide receiver, they had Drake London,
push it in a bit.
A little bit more. Traylon Burks, Chris Olave, O-line, They had Charles Cross. I'm just going to keep going down until we essentially see a guy that the Cowboys took. Sam Williams, there it is, our second overall pick. Had a top 30 visit. Then you keep going on down. Checking what we have here. I'm not seeing any Dallas Cowboys until you see 3 in a row.
Others.
Marquez Bell, Malik Davis, and Deron Bland.
And
Interesting.
all three free agencies.
Well, interesting enough. Well, they're saying they'll be free agents.
Yeah.
But these two were Marquez Bell and Malik Davis.
We're both free agents.
And then our boy,
Deron,
NFL record.
Not so motherfucking Bland. You better recognize.
NFL record holder, Deron Not So Bland. So only 2 out of their 30 visits there, guys. So what can you can't really look much into it.
So there's no fucking numbers pattern there that you're talking about.
Well, one time we had 4 and you had 4 guys that were drafted. This time they took 2. There was 4 guys again that they had visits with that ended up on the team, but only 2 that got drafted, which Deron Bland in the 5th and Sam Williams in the 2nd. Just an interesting way to look at it because, yeah, sure, the 30 that we went through, or the 10 or 15, whatever it was in the article prior, maybe one of those guys ends up on the team, if that.
Right.
So
Jenkins Gaming saying, did they release this year's visit? Not the full list, right? It's just who's the first couple.
This is
what we went over with Nick Harris, right?
This is what we got so far. This was brought out yesterday. I know there was a couple other guys that were released, but these are some of the dudes boosting up at the Cowboys quarters.
I don't mind seeing that group.
No, there's good players. But like I said, one of those guys on the team, don't know much about Darius Robinson, to be honest, but the rest of them would be super stoked if they ended up on the Cowboys.
But at the end of the day, the challenge with the draft is when you're a team like the Cowboys and you typically draft very well, that could also hinder you because then you're relying on just drafting players and you're not making these moves in free agencies that we're all screaming at trying to pick up and take. And that type of like stubbornness in terms of like we draft players, we don't want to trade for players is kind of a shitty attitude. Because imagine if you put a little bit more effort into bringing on some free agents to the team to help couple with your superior drafting. Like that's the thing that's painful.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen. They're bargain bin shoppers. They're trying to find that pair of Levi's at Value Village.
Yeah.
And you end up getting bed bugs.
Jerry's trying to do what I was successful with my oil by Wildcat, and I'm going to do that in the draft. I'm just going to Wildcat the draft.
Well, they did kind of pigeonhole themselves a little bit with cap space. They weren't very smart in structuring the Zeke Elliott thing is still biting them in the ass. The Dak Prescott contract stuff that we've talked about tons on here, and it's still an ongoing thing. But what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do a mock draft, or you just want to talk about, like, AJ, do you have our mock drafts that we could bring up somehow?
I feel like we should do a nice preparation screen for it. We should just mock it today.
Mock it?
I think we should just mock it today.
Yeah, let's mock it. But yeah, then we'll just have to go through if we didn't download them, which is not a big deal. We'll just got to screen grab.
Be easy.
Go through each mock and screen grab easy enough. And then we can, just bring those up. But that would be fun, I think, after this one, is that we review them and kind of see what our trends are. And
maybe we do that for Sunday.
Yeah, we could. Yep.
Do that for Sunday? Yeah, okay.
Have we ever done a full PFF board? I don't think we have.
Not since it's came out, no.
We're going to go full PFF board with these little rapscallions. I'm going to have it just kind of mid-speed. We're going to just this is going to be a speed draft, fellas.
What version of this mock draft are we?
6. Mock draft version 6.
Let me get that thing on there. Let me boost that in there for a second here.
To be honest, that's what we're at. And you know what? I like it.
Hey.
Mock drafts, and we're starting to feel good about some of the guys. Again, we're trying to put in that work.
Let's do this. Let's do and go find a spinner wheel.
Okay.
On Google.
Yep.
And we're gonna put in offense and defense.
Okay.
And we're gonna spin the wheel each round, and whatever it lands on, that's the side of the ball we have to draft.
Okay. I like it.
Jenkins Gaming
No,
says
we like to.
Jenkins Gaming says yes, yes, and draft Cooper. We've drafted Cooper.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
what were you going to say there, AJ?
You know, this is the randomness that we'll add to this.
This is it. That was just a test spin, but that's what we got. Offense, defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going. We're boosting it. This is CanFan mock draft version 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I put version 6 in there. I thought it was version 7, but let's just call it version 6.
Hey, man, that's how we do during draft season. We do so many goddamn of these that we don't even know. We are entering that draft, and we are going to see what happens. We got it medium speed. I'm going to do my best to read out the names. I'll zoom it in a little bit here, and let's just grab a Chang, son. So here, oh yeah,
Mayor, Alt, Harrison Jr.
There's no chance. It's going. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, the Cowboys are up, and okay, this is interesting, guys. We've never really seen Nate Wiggins here too much. Cornerback out of Clemson. We got Amarius Mims, who in AJ's offensive line X post, he was one of the options. Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback out of Alabama. Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon, and then there's BTJ and JJ McCarthy and Tyler Guyton. So there's a bunch of guys. And we're going to start it off.
No, that you got to redo it. Yeah, there you go.
Let's roll to see what we have to take.
Wow. We want offense. We want offense.
Nothing.
We want offense. We want offense. We want offense.
Yes. We can't go against the Pokemon ball.
No. The Pokemon ball tells all. Okay,
we should have had offense, defense, special teams.
Well, yeah, but that would fuck you. That would fuck you.
I know.
Okay, here we go. Guys, we are taking offense, and a guy that we've always taken, Jackson Powers Johnson.
I kind of like the idea about Mims.
You know what I kind of like? I'm going to sound a little crazy.
BTJ?
No.
We didn't have to move up for BTJ.
JJ McCarthy.
JJ
McCarthy.
Wow.
Eh?
I mean, that's crazy.
Some say some have JJ McCarthy going at 4th, guys. Look at his 2023 season here. I'm seeing a lot of blue. And Cowboys Chris would love for us to take this fella.
I don't know if Cowboys Chris is still in the chat right now, but Cowboys Chris, would you take JJ McCarthy at our first round, number 24?
Height 6'3", weight 202, class junior, round 1. McCarthy is not a finished product, but he is a growing quarterback with experience in a pro-style offense and good tools, physical and mental, to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. McCarthy comes from a pro-style offense as his first-time starter in 2022. He struggled to get off his primary read, fell for sim pressures, and didn't have good instincts when pressured. In 2023, all of that improved, though that improvement needs to continue. His arm talent is good, both for velocity and natural accuracy. However, he does not need to continue to get stronger to get his feet or to get his arm talent to the NFL level. His throwing motion is clean and efficient. From his footwork to his follow-through, you won't build a rushing attack around his mobility, but he is a good athlete who is a threat on RPOs and scramble plays.
Cowboys Chris says, please, in all caps.
Guys, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but let me just throw this thought out to you.
Okay.
It goes, number one, it's fun, of course, but it goes against our
what we just said, what we just talked about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, that we don't want to draft the QB. However, I like it. It's fun. And if we did draft him, then immediately pause, because we're going to be trading Dak Prescott.
You can't trade Dak Prescott, though, because there's no trade clause. You could trade Trey Lance.
Guys,
trade Lance then.
We could also trade back.
So that's one of the things that we should have had on there: offense, defense, trade up, and trade up, trade back.
Yeah, but if you hit a couple of those in a row, I mean, I think it's fun.
Keep it for another one.
I think it's fun. JJ McCarthy's fun, but you could rewind 30 minutes ago and hear us say, well, you got to build the offensive line before taking your future quarterback. So are we voting?
Well, this is what chat's saying. So Sip Darther 434 says, be realistic. They're not going to get a QB in the first round. Make a selection that makes sense. Cowboys Chris says, since all Cowboy fans.
Who said that?
Sip Dat Truth 34.
Sip that Truth 34. This must be your first day at CanFan. We get crazy during the mock drafts.
We get crazy in these mock drafts.
It's not only is it supposed to be fun, But it's not realistic. It's a mock draft.
And sometimes they call us Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited.
Dallas Cowboys Chris says, since all Cowboys fans want to get rid of Dak Prescott, might as well draft a quarterback.
Yeah, but I'd also like to take, like AJ said, I'm not against us taking for the first time Amarius Mims after reading AJ's offensive line
I think we go Mims. It matches with the narrative of
tonight's show.
Yeah.
We mimming it?
We mimming it.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. Amarius Mims, tackle out of Georgia. And we're back rolling. We're speeding on through to that pick 58, second round pick.
Oh, Troy Franklin's gone. That's the draft. Boys.
Chop Robinson I seen off. It is fun to just see who gets taken off here.
Divine Gun says, no, Brian Thomas Jr.
We've taken him before, and we've been ridiculed.
We've had to trade up to get BTJ.
We've been ridiculed.
We got ridiculed for him.
We've taken him.
So we're expecting to get ridiculed for taking Mims. These guys don't know football. You guys aren't GMs.
Here we go. Defense.
Hey, gotta draft a defensive player.
Sorry, and Jenkins Gaming.
The Pokemon ball has spoke.
Jenkins Gaming says should have traded back and picked up Zach Fraser because he says we keep not giving
That's true.
Zach Fraser any type of love.
That is true, and that is noted. I do like that. That is true, noted. So now with the board right now, the top two you got Rook.
Sorry. This is for our first round fucking pick right here.
Yeah, good call.
This one goes out to Mims. Crack him if you got him.
Double crack him.
And welcome to the motherfucker home.
Welcome to the team. Okay, guys. The top two we got right now, Rook or Horo. Obviously is a position of need. And then
I would say Brooks, but obviously we're on defense.
You got Marshawn Nealand, edge. Jaden Hicks, safety. Edger and Cooper.
Oh, Coop.
You know I'm a Cooper slut. Edger and Cooper.
Yeah.
Then you got, I know we're not doing offense, but you got Christian Haynes, a guy we talked about, which would be a great second round pick in my mind to follow up with our first round tackle spot. And then Junior Colson.
Okay. So just chat. Remember, the wheel said we have to pick a defensive player.
We have to pick defense.
We're on defense.
And I think it's down to
what's the trade?
Oh yeah.
Oh
okay.
Hey.
I like that.
Hey, hello.
Too far. Way too far.
Way too far.
85, AJ. 85.
No way.
That's
Get him
way
up. Don't
too
even
much.
Pick up the phone.
Not
Don't
even
even pick up the phone.
Hey, fuck you, dickhead.
Yeah, you picked it up and they're like, okay, we're trading with you. You go, okay, I'll trade with you, Browns. Pick 85. Click.
You better tell this sumbitch to walk the fuck out right now, or we done for the day. Go on.
So the question is, are we taking a linebacker or are we going defensive interior?
Well, we got to check out this guy.
Okay, is he a big boy? If he ain't a big boy, tell him to get the fuck out.
He played A-gap. He's played A-gap, which is interesting. We're looking for A-gap. That's what we want to see. 6'4", 295. Ohoro is a versatile defensive lineman who can be a high-floored player at defensive end or defensive tackle. However, he needs to develop technical pass rush moves to be more than a rotational player at the next level. I'm not liking that. When I think I can get a day one linebacker who's going to be a game changer at
Let's do it.
Edger and Cooper. I think Edger and Cooper is the no-brainer. I've said this to you guys many times. If Edger and Cooper or Peyton Wilson are on the board at 56, it's a no-brain pick to me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Coops.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Edger and Cooper, welcome to the team. Handhold it up.
Handhold those fucking callous hands.
You're cold, eh?
I'm cold. I got
that's your drinking hand. That's why.
I got bad circulation in my blood.
You need to get circulated. Okay, pick 87.
By the way, Travis O'Shea was saying that that the defensive interior was good. Pack Attack with a $4.99 super chat says, "What if NFL teams could draft their owners?" And he gives a super chat.
I like that. That's funny.
Okay, we're going offense.
Offense. Woo! Let's go.
If NFL teams could draft their owners, they would have lobbyists.
Well, sorry, and talking about NFL teams drafting, do you see that news that the mayor of Dallas is trying to get the Chiefs over into Dallas?
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Okay.
That's just so dumb. That's just to make headlines.
Sorry, we're on offense.
We're on offense, baby.
Okay, we never taken Johnny Wilson.
Never taken Johnny Wilson.
Fuck it. Roll the dice on Michael Pratt.
Michael Pratt.
Chris Pratt's brother.
Chris Pratt's younger brother. Christian Mahogany. I like this. Hey, Cedric Van Pran. Heard lots about him. Not only is he touted center, but he would pair up with his Georgia teammate, Amarius Mims. So
Yep.
there's some food for thought. Who do you guys want to look at, though?
My Jenkins Gaming says, "Who is Pratt? Is he good?" Question mark. So let's maybe just take a look at him. Let's just dick tease a little bit with this fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Pretty average. Pretty average.
What's his size?
6'3", 220.
Okay.
Rough, same
Okay.
size as JJ McCarthy. Pratt's clean fundamentals and impressive touch throws make him an intriguing quarterback, even with smaller measurables. His arm strength limits his ability to push the ball vertically. I'm not.
Okay,
That's
you know
almost
what?
out
Hey,
on that.
Bring up all the fucking tasty halfbacks for us.
Okay. Halfbacks? Yeah, good call.
Bring up the halfbacks. Like, what are we doing? Let's just fucking position group this.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
good call. They're all going to be gone. Did I go too far down?
No, you're right there.
Ray Davis.
Okay, we like Davis, but we could get him. We could.
B. Allen's still there. He's down there, though.
134.
Okay, I think we could probably get Braylon Allen's with our next pick, but we. Hey,
Well, it depends.
Hey, is the wheel going to tell us to pick, or is the wheel not going to tell us to pick?
I don't know. But your voice
wanna go
sounded
draft
like
us?
your
There we
voice.
go.
I like that voice. I don't even know what you'd call that. I want to see this guy.
Oh,
I want to see Johnny Wilson.
Yes. Okay. Iceberg Slims just said Johnny Wilson, 6'7", 237 slot tight end.
Shut the fuck up. He's 6'7".
6'7", 237 slot TE.
Bring that shit.
Just for that fucking massive a man, Way J wants him, and Way J's already thinking, am I gonna check out some fucking game film?
6'6",
And-
231. I mean, that's still pretty crazy.
Johnny Wilson definitely has this voice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look at him.
I mean, I
Oh,
like.
hey,
Hey,
guys.
we've been known to be size queens, fellas, and he's in his measurables. He's got a lot of blue.
Boosh it in there for AJ.
He's got a lot of blue here.
And he's got some good green. He's got some good green on
His
him.
vertical's
37
nice.
vertical.
Broad. Yep.
In the 40, I'm not going to hold it against it. Who cares if he's only running 4'5" when he's a foot taller than any of the guys?
I'm liking
he's catching.
I'm liking a tight end fucking Johnny. What's his block?
Well, he's a wide receiver. They have him as a wide receiver.
Oh. He's Iceberg Slim saying he's a slot tight end.
Well, yeah, with that size. So Johnny Wilson, I like this, standing tall at 6'7". They say this right in the draft profile,
Yeah.
but then they have him at 6'6". Let's get some of let's get some strengths here. Elite catch radius, no shit.
Fucking
high point, no shit.
10 arm wingspan, probably.
I like to see this though. Dynamic rack, run after catch, elite athletic skills, guys. I think we just go with an absolute beast of an athletic guy here.
What is it? What was the bell cow back? What's his weakness? Challenging cheating separation at times, struggles against corners, employing a mirror. Yeah, that's why you move him tight end. Route refinement needed, tends to round off routes and displays limited hip flexibility. Again, make him a tight end. Physical attributes could be a double-edged sword. His height makes him play too tall into stems, affecting transitions. Limited route tree, blocking inconsistencies. Okay, so that's the problem about making him a tight end if his blocking inconsistencies. However, as a slot tight end, he doesn't really need to do that, right?
Well, just keep him in the wide receiver position.
Yeah,
get a big body beast out there.
Have Fergalicious in the slot or at tight end, and then have him in the slot beside him.
Devin Gunn says, hard to pass on that created Madden player.
Yeah, let's get him. I like it. That's a selling point there. Let's get Bray.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team. Johnny, I'm a freak of nature, Wilson.
Johnny be good, Wilson?
Okay.
Johnny be good.
Now it's a long time till we get our next pick, fellas. Are we going to pause to try to trade up? Nah.
Oh, shit. And he
We'll
said,
just
I
roll
forgot
the
about
dice.
Stevens for tight end number 2, but that's okay.
So as it's going,
Stack 'em and crack 'em.
as it's going, let's get our spin here.
Spin
Guys, you
that
also
wheel.
forgot about Schoon. What about Schoonmaker?
Yeah, and Scooney.
He has a shoulder. He's a shoulder inch.
Okay, offense again, fellas. We're bulking up on offense.
We're getting that
Oh,
Braylon
wow.
Allen, baby. Braylon Allen. If Braylon Allen, if he's there, we're taking him.
I don't think he's gonna be. We're picking at 174, dude. There's no way Allen's there at
Hey,
174.
this PFF big board has been fucking crazy.
It's been wild.
Oh, there he's gone.
Did you see him?
I think I just saw him gone.
Oh, there's Cedric Gray. 50 Shades of Cedric Gray
50
off the
Shades of
board.
Cedric Gray gone.
A couple Michigan boys off the board.
Oh,
Joe
man.
Milton off the board.
Oh,
Walter
fuck me.
Rouse, seen him.
Oh, we're gonna take
Drake Nugent, center that AJ had earlier. A lot of Michigan guys, dude.
we're gonna take Pratt over fucking. I can't believe we even looked at that quarterback and knowing Milton was still on the board there.
Guys.
Okay.
We have to take offense.
Okay, go. Give me a halfback.
Well, you got two of the best ones right there.
Okay.
Dylan Lobb and both Dylans, spelt differently, though.
Do you want Dylan with a Y or Dylan with 2 L's?
I think we have to. I think we have to take a Dylan because halfback's very important here. maybe we just let's compare them here.
Yeah, and then just let me see what other halfbacks we got.
Dylan Lobb had a good 2023 season. Actually, he had a very good collegiate career, to be honest. Let's see.
He looks
He
like
catch the football. He can catch the football.
5'10", 208. We don't hate that, fellas. I think Dylan Lobby.
Dylan with a Y, you better Dylan with a Y, you better be a fucking.
I'm going to. So we're gonna look at them both here, and then I'll give eye test on both.
Yeah. Because let's look at the numbers first.
Again, very, very good collegiate career for Dylan Johnson. Sounds like a fake name.
He can also catch the ball. Yeah.
And let's see his first look. What is going on?
Oh, come on.
Couldn't click. They're like
6 foot 218. I mean, he's a bigger boy than
decent all-around athlete, but lacks the difference-making trait for him to stand out at an NFL level. His most likely projection is as a third down back. So nothing crazy, but let's take a eyeball test at these guys.
Eyeball test these boys?
Yeah, let's eyeball it up. Let's see. That's what it's going to go down to because they're both pretty even.
Oh, there's our guy, Johnny Wilson. Welcome to the team.
So Dylan, I can't even remember Lob. Oops. Let's see what we got. Here he is, New Hampshire.
Okay.
I was not expecting him to be white.
No,
I honestly wasn't.
Wow.
I was not expecting him to be white.
Very racist of you.
It's just I wasn't expecting him to be white.
Hunter Lepke's like this. Nope. Nope.
If Dylan Johnson is then white, that I'll be thrown for a loop.
No, because he's spelled with I-L-L-O-N.
You know this. He's from West Hampton, New York. You know he's got some weird accent.
Looks like a fucking fuckboy.
A lot of Reds.
Hey, fuck you.
A lot of Reds. 4'4", 4'5'4". Let's get a couple strengths here, fellas. Still kind of thrown off guard that he's white, to be honest. Scouting report strengths. Give me one, Ad.
Shows a surprising burst to beat linebackers to the edge. Can plant his foot in the ground and explode, showing better straight line speed than expected for a white guy.
And is it Lob or Lobby?
Labe.
Labe? Lob?
He's equally dangerous in catch and run situation as Leub is taking the top off a defense.
Sounds like he's got some wheels.
Natural playmaker at best with the ball in his hands. Okay. I don't mind him.
Give us some weaknesses.
So weaknesses, he's white. As a runner, Labe, it too often looks to bounce outside and make the big play rather than pick his way through traffic.
Okay.
Labe really isn't a guy who will create a lot of separation. Labe can sometimes be impatient, not allowing his blocks to set up a new nuance required for backs to last. I mean, a lot of his weaknesses they're
not that
too bad. So, Lobby, Lob, Labe, Labia.
Ooh.
Dylan Labia. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We got Dylan Johnson running back. I'm gonna be sold on the 40 to be honest, and he's slower by a lot.
Okay.
He's 4'6'8". I'm just saying right there, he's out for me. 4'6'8". That's too slow.
Okay.
That's too slow.
Okay, well then don't even. You've gone.
6 foot 217 though. So we got to see his strength because he could be a bruiser, and if he's a bruiser,
Divine Gun says we can wait for them. don't pick them. We can wait for these guys in another round.
But we have to. Okay, I also like that. Let's go back.
Well, look at we picked Johnny Wilson, but what about taking 2 wideouts? What about taking another? Like we're just looking at.
So we're at 174. These guys are going to be gone when we go at 216. They won't be there at 216.
What about trading back a little bit?
Luke McCaffrey's up in there.
Take him.
Hey, are we going to just go back? Bloodline pick?
Bloodline pick.
AJ, are you against the bloodline pick?
Christian McCaffrey.
I like a bloodline pick, but I like Lob too. So whatever you guys.
I like Lob too.
I like Lob as well.
But we're going with the guy that we knew was white, Luke McCaffrey. You know, brother Bessies are going with the bloodline pick. Welcome to the team.
You know what? We should have traded back for that bloodline pick.
Can't. This is straight. We never put that in the dice.
Fuck! I can't believe we just dropped down to a bloodline.
Actually, I'm going to pause. That's actually a good idea. That next time you could have. If you wanted to just do offense, defense again, you could have 3 offense defenses each, and then a trade up or down, a trade up, trade down, because then it makes the odds of them landing on that less.
Yeah.
And the odds of landing on offense, defense still the same.
Okay, that's a good.
Thought I'd just pause for that. So 28 picks. Oh, as we're waiting, let's get the wheel. Let's get the Pokemon ball going.
And just
come on defense. We need a defense.
No, it's offense. Oh, it's offense. It's fucking offense. No. Who's cheering?
Okay, hey, if Lob is there, Lob.
Hey.
No.
Oh, Jace.
That's not bad. Jace is not a bad pick.
Yeah, we like Jace McClellan.
Jace McClellan. If you go down, there's also might be
Your guy's gonna be there. Isaiah Davis is there.
Davis.
Have we looked at? Let's check out Jace here. Again, good collegiate career.
Again,
5'11", 212. They're all cookie cuttered.
I mean, look. We'll get a better score if we take Jace.
I just want to see I want to see his speed here. I want to again, if we're going running back, I want them 4.5. So he's the fastest of the last guys we've looked at.
What about Isaiah?
I'm gonna check him out. And guy like low key good size, 5'10", 221, man, running 4.5. That's a bowling ball right there.
Yep.
And let's check out Isaiah.
I'm coming like a bowling ball.
How do you spell Isaiah?
AI.
AI? I-S-A-I-H?
AI. Yeah. Or maybe.
Okay, A-I-A. Oops.
Yeah.
Fat fingering.
Fat fingering.
There he is. Like the look.
Yep.
This guy looks like he doesn't take
mean.
shit. 4.57. So I mean, it's not much slower, and he's beefy too. So he's 6 feet 218. I like either of these dudes, to be honest.
Let's have a quick look at their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, let's get Davis.
Just like the first.
Let's check him out.
Yeah, just the first little.
Okay, let's check him out.
Of each line.
Okay, so weaknesses for.
No, this is strengths.
We're doing strengths. So difficult to bring down one-on-one in space. Regularly sidesteps would be tacklers and uses offhand to use oncoming defenders' momentum against them without slowing down significantly.
That's all you're getting, and you get one weakness.
Davis doesn't always show great hands, and Davis takes too long to gather himself after making catches in the screen game.
Well, Cowboys don't run screens, so that's not really a negative.
Yep.
Okay, let's check out our other guy, Jace, for his quick weakness or strength.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we got for JC? JC Boy says his one-cut style is perfect for wide zone schemes. He sees the gap, makes his move, and doesn't waste time dancing around.
I got sold on got that gazelle-like long stride, taking a bit to ramp up, but showing impressive top-end speed once he's going. I like that.
Okay.
Give us a weakness, Ad.
While his initial burst off the line is solid, he tends to lose steam as the play progresses, not breaking as many tackles as you expect from a back with his build, which is kind of weird where
Doesn't he just say
speed. It says the
exact opposite.
It counter is it, you know?
I'm going with Jace in my mind, fellas. I'm feeling Jace.
Do it. Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Welcome to the team. We got 2 more picks.
Hey, you're just going for that fucking that final grade score.
We need defense here.
It, right?
We need defense so bad.
No, we're getting O.
We need defense.
We're getting offense. Baby. Quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Or we take a lineman.
Yeah.
I think we got to take a lineman depending on what the BPA is. At this point,
10 for BPA.
You could also double dip and just take Davis.
Fucking sweet, baby.
I mean, realistically, in these picks, round 7, you're just a flyer at what? I mean, Admin Dankwa isn't making the team.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Who's the next quarterback? Who's the next quarterback just for shits and gigs?
Shits and gigs? Okay,
Shits and
let me check it out.
Oh, Curtis 50 Cent Jacobs is there, but we can't take
QB. We're just on shits and gigs. There's our boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
We're going to save one of those guys when we obviously get offense in the last round. Okay.
Yeah.
So, AJ, I'm kind of wanting to double dip on running back here.
Okay, but give me Mayan Williams for a second. Now, we've never taken a look at him or Jordan Witten.
Had a terrible 2023. Not looking at him.
Okay.
I'm not looking at him. Terrible 2023.
Hey, I fucking tried.
Excuse.
I tried for you.
There's no excuse.
Mayan Williams.
I think we've taken Jordan Witten.
I know, but we've taken 2 wideouts, so we can't. I'd rather double burger the fucking halfbacks here.
Okay, let's look at Dankwa. Look at those grades, man.
Oh, fuck that.
I'm at least want to take a guy that we think has a chance to start. 6'8", 362.
Oh my god. Okay, he's pretty.
We're not playing basketball here.
He could be a work in progress. 6'8", though. That's too tall.
That's too tall.
What about Donovan Jennings?
Let's check out Jennings. He had all right.
Okay, had a good 2023.
I like that size better.
Okay.
Maybe we just take him. Yeah.
I like him.
Left tackle. Maybe we just take him. It's a good depth piece. USF Bulls. Let's take him. Donovan Jennings, welcome to the team. We don't even need to take a look. I like that. Okay, our last pick of version or 5 or 6, whatever one we are on.
Spin that wheel.
Just give us the top ranked defensive player. Okay, there we go.
There we go, baby. Finally, hey, defense is back on the board.
And there's none
worth. You're gonna get cursed out online when you post this.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Results.
Guys, I hate to say it, Trevin Wallace is probably the best, and he is the best guy there, and he's the PFF has him as the most athletic linebacker in college football.
Really?
So yeah. Trevin Wallace. I think that's a no-brainer pick. You pair him with Edgerrin Cooper. Worst case,
Edgerrin Cooper. We're linebacker fucking you, Dallas. Dallas Cowboys is linebacker city with Trevin Wallace, Edgerrin Cooper, Kendricks, motherfucking overshown. You want to come at us this year? We're overshowing on the fucking linebackers, baby.
All right, that means we're taking him. Trevin Wallace, welcome to the team. Okay, let's check this out.
And if he is super athletic, he's there with Kendricks, and that's a great mind to be learning alongside your rookie season. So.
Definitely is.
Okay, I'm gonna be interested. Okay, whoa. Okay, hey, Mims, that's an
Slow
A.
roll. They added this new thing here where it shows you.
Oh, interesting.
What you could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go just pick by pick. Amarius Mims, A grade. We like that pick,
obviously,
guys.
we
like that pick.
We love that pick.
Second up, Edgerrin Cooper, a B, which I don't agree with PFF on this one. I don't think he's making it.
He's
to 56.
not making it to 56.
I just don't.
Well, you can see by the draft assistant thing. It says that drafting Rook Ohoro would have been
the best pick.
Yeah, fuck you.
The better pick. Yeah.
Johnny Wilson, A it up, baby. All 6'7" of them. I'm interested to see this cat in the NFL because that is a freak show.
I gotta get some eyes on this fucking monster.
Johnny Wilson, Luke McCaff. So we're going.
Hey, that's a B.
I
thought that was gonna give us. I thought that was gonna give us like a C+ or something like that.
That's a bloodline pick.
B for bloodline.
Jace McClellan,
A-.
Juice it up. We're on track here to have a decent score, fellas. Donovan Jennings, nice tackle pickup. B+. And then our last pick of the draft, Trevin Wallace for a nice B+.
So what do we think we're gonna hit here? So we're gonna
be
1,
an A.
2, 3.
A-, sorry.
Yeah, A-, or a B+.
I'm feeling A-. A-.
Look at that salvage yard, boys.
That's all right. That's a good draft, fellas. And some players that we've never taken before.
Yeah.
So we just keep stacking up to the CanFan board. This is actually, so we've talked about it prior, but the way our CanFan board's going to go is we got to take, I think actually we did do it last year, but we just got to actually make a board of it. All the guys we took in the first, all the guys we took in the second, third. So then you can see.
Do we want to do a digital board or do you want me to make an actual, do we want
No, I want an actual board. Less shit to actually, like something that we can just have a camera on.
Can we do this? Can we do this? Can
Magnets?
We'll pay Riker. We'll give him all the names and the slots that they're in. And we'll pay Riker to make us a board.
Well, yeah, so that's a good idea. And what we'll have to do is after we have all our names in the first round, us three together have to rank who we would rather take out of all the guys that we took in the first round in all our mock drafts, who we think is for best to least, or who we at least would like to see us take the best.
All of our draft picks, we'll rank them.
Yeah. That's our big board. That's going to be the CanFan big board. I don't know. That's a good way of doing it.
Let's maybe make it as let's design a big board, and then I might even be able to get one printed out for us.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
With some elements.
All right, guys. We will be back Sunday for the Sunday service. Talking draft, talking anything, any crazy free agents that the Cowboys bring in the rest of the week. Maybe we'll bring back some random player that no one gives a shit about. We don't know. But when it happens, we will be back on Sunday to talk about it. We want to say, chat, we appreciate you guys showing up for the whole draft show. We know everyone's starting to get that itch for football, and we're trying to satisfy that itch by doing this show.
Let us be your scratch.
Let's just be a scratch. Final thoughts, fellas. AJ, you got anything you want to lead out with or leave with?
Love doing these mock drafts. This is how CanFan learns. All right, it's live. We're building it as she flies.
Bandwagon Boy 1.
Hey, if you know someone out there that's talking shit about Dak Prescott or the Dallas Cowboys, you go ahead and you tell them to go fuck themselves. See you Sunday, y'all.
I just always see AJ reach to end the show, so I just pretended to do that.